As kids, we all experience great things. They could be the first time we got to go to a sporting event, first time we learned to ride our bike, to our teens where we learned how to actually drive our first vehicle, enjoy that first kiss, or whatever the case may be. A lot of these experiences stay with us, and we always remind ourselves of those, as they provide us with great lessons later on in life. For me, however, kind of a bit different with one particular experience. This experience has actually been an ongoing experience that I've just now been able to relieve myself of. I keep asking myself how I got myself into this situation. The reason why I actually went ahead and made it a part of this speech. For me, my experiences was how I became a smoker at such a young age. Today I'm going to persuade you that the tobacco company Philip Morris is promoting unethical behavior by using advertising and marketing to gain consumers that are under the legal smoking age. In order to better understand the philosophy behind Philip Morris's marketing campaign to target underage consumers, we need to look at how they conducted their marketing campaign, why there's even a need for this campaign, and on a final note, what is being done to stop this unethical behavior. The first thing to consider is how Philip Morris establishes a specialized marketing campaign to target these underage consumers. Reports from the Legacy Tobacco Documents Library show that Philip Morris hired the Leo Burnett advertising agency back in 1989 in order to conduct an analysis to find similarities between past and current generations in order to find a common ground that would be most appealing to all demographics. The reasoning behind this is to create a universal theme in order to persuade all demographics to use Philip Morris's tobacco products. The main issue here is that this campaign, along with Leo Burnett's analysis, worked all too well. As a result, based on research provided by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, more than 80% of adult smokers began smoking before the age of 18. At this point, the question becomes, why would Philip Morris want a campaign that worked all too well? It just so happens that Philip Morris's consumers were in sharp decline. It was not because people were smoking or because people just wanted to abstain from smoking altogether. The answer was simple. Their consumers were dying. In a study shown by the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, illustrates that deaths related to tobacco products outnumbered all deaths, including human immunodeficiency virus or HIV, alcohol use, illegal drug use, motor vehicle injuries, suicides, and murders combined. With that being said, Philip Morris had to find a solution to retain a stable level of consumers. At this specific moment, underage consumers of tobaccos were increasing exponentially as Philip Morris's campaign overhaul swept the nation. Now, these two correlations provide the proof that Philip Morris's intentions were to target underage consumers in order to sustain their own profitability. Now, this brings me to my last point in order to discuss what is being done to prevent the unethical behavior from attracting more underage consumers. Now, based on the Surgeon General reporting in 1964, found that tar and nicotine found in cigarettes were actually linked to lung cancer. This report led the U.S. Congress to pass the Cigarette Labeling and Advertising Act of 1965, which forced tobacco companies to place warnings on their products so that consumers can be aware of the health effects of smoking. As an increased measure, the U.S. President signed the Tobacco Control Act, or the TCA, in June of 2009. This act enables the Food and Drug Administration the authority to regulate the manufacturing, distribution, and marketing of tobacco products to protect the public health, which incidentally helps mitigate campaigning that could be targeted at underage consumers. Now, understanding how and why of Philip Morris's marketing campaign illustrates that while there is no legal grounds that are being broken, this company as well as others are conducting anything but ethical behavior. This creates a dilemma that needs to be further addressed. The bottom line is the more we know about how organizations conduct businesses, the easier it becomes for us, the people, to know what their true intentions are. Remembering how Philip Morris's marketing strategy worked, the reasoning behind it, and the steps being taken to mitigate this unethical behavior should help us with future situations should they arise. As a final thought, it is critical and imperative that we should ask ourselves, how did we let these travesties to emerge in the first place? Next, we should ask ourselves, what can we do to stop this, and what can we do to prevent these travesties from happening again?